One of the major ways I have taken control of my financial situation is the fact that I have been able to create a business that is performed solely online and allows me to work from home. I plan on expanding that over time, but one of the roadblocks that was standing in my way was the fact that I could not get decent internet. We live in a suburb, but we're not really close to any major city. So, because of that, we don't have many internet choices. For example, we really can only have CenturyLink if we're dealing with any type of wired internet. And the CenturyLink service that we had was it was terrible. I mean, like snail's pace. And for a long time, we would call up CenturyLink and we would just ask, can we have a higher speed? We're willing to pay for that. Like, whatever, just can we have more speed? So initially we were paying $50. Initially we were paying $50 a month for 3 megabit download, less than 1 megabit upload. Now that's the stated service that we were supposed to be getting, but we weren't getting that. We were actually getting a lot less. And I'll give you an example of how much less. When I wanted to upload a YouTube video, I would have to wait until I was going to bed to upload it because I could not do anything else online for hours if I was going to upload a YouTube video. So I would use the time that I was sleeping to upload it, and that would take 3 nights. So sometimes it would take 3 nights for me to upload one video. So basically, I just had to leave the computer on, let it just upload. Just takes forever. I'm just, in a holding pattern until then. And then every day when I'd get up, because I work online, I would need the internet. I'd have to pause that video that was uploading and I'd have to do my work. And then I'd start it over again that night. That is how slow the internet was. That's not an exaggeration. That is exactly what I was doing. We did call CenturyLink and we asked if we could get a higher speed or if something was wrong. And instead of helping us, the customer service rep just transferred us to HughesNet, which we don't want because I've read the reviews of HughesNet and it seems that not only are they very expensive, the service is not very reliable. And CenturyLink told us that if we were to switch to HughesNet, we should leave our CenturyLink on for a while because if we turned off our CenturyLink and we discontinued the service, we probably wouldn't be able to get it back. So this is very discouraging because I am doing more and more things online and my internet was just getting slower and slower. Obviously, with the pandemic, a lot more people were working online and using the internet more often from home, and this slowed down the service even further. So finally, I got really fed up because it was to the point where I was looking at every time I needed to upload something, not just YouTube videos, but things for work, I needed to have days to do it. And obviously that's not going to work for me. So I complained and I did get some good answers and I wanted to share those because there are a lot of complaints about the same thing that I'm complaining about, but I don't think that people complain to the right person. I go right to the source. So if you want to get a response, you need to make sure that you're getting that complaint through. It can't just be the person that you call in and talk to. It's got to go to somebody higher up so that they actually give you real responses because realistically, the people that are working the customer service jobs, they don't have any they don't know why your service sucks. So you've got to go up higher. So I finally got some answers. And the reason that our internet is so slow and the reason that we can't move up to another tier service is because this service is in a state of permanent exhaust. CenturyLink advertises fiber internet, but it's not available in a lot of places. And if you have the DSL lines, they aren't going to be updating it to fiber because I did mention that, hey, we were paying $50 for this service and I see that fiber is $50. So what is the deal? Fiber's supposed to be super fast. I'm paying $50 for something that's extremely slow. I don't know, probably slower than AOL was, back in the day when it was dial up. And so the response that I got was they don't plan on updating our area at all. Like there are no plans for that. And the reason is because they kind of have a monopoly here. We tried to switch to Comcast. They came out and they said, well, somebody did create an illegal hookup for Comcast in our area for um, other houses. Like everyone else has a choice between Comcast and CenturyLink. We are actually the only house that only has CenturyLink as a choice. And the reason is because of the way that our property is. We have lots of trees and the service just won't reach our property. If like they'd have to come and dig up cables and I don't know, all types of things. So obviously they're not going to do that for our one house. Basically, this is it. This is what it is, and they're not going to update it because they know they really don't have to. They kind of have a monopoly. Once I found that out, I was just really frustrated. I was like, so not only can we not switch services, the service that we have, they're not interested in increasing our availability. And, like the fact that they're just like, this is too bad. This is what it is. And we're not interested in it. We're not interested in doing anything. Really made me upset because I'm like, I get that we're just one customer, but other people in this area have to have this slow internet too. Why not update it? But they're not interested in that. I walked away from that exchange just saying, okay, well, I do appreciate the honesty. They let me know that your internet is at this speed and it's not going anywhere. It's not changing and we will not be putting fiber in your area. So then I'm like, wow. So my husband, being the sweetheart that he is, he started calling around to any local places, just anywhere. He's like, please, we just need better internet. My wife works from home. She's got all these things going on. We need better internet. And nobody could do it. Nobody. And then he was searching on T-Mobile's website and saw that they were offering 5G home internet. So he just takes a chance. He calls them up and they're like, yeah, we've got availability in your area. I was very skeptical because nobody has been able to help us. I mean, nobody. None of the local companies. Comcast is like, oh, can't help you. Well, the T-Mobile gateway arrived on a few nights ago, and it was up and running in less than 10 minutes. And for me, the internet is lightning fast. I'm sure that there are faster speeds out there, whatever. But compared to what I had, it is fantastic. I am so excited to have it because it's been a long time since I've been able to just upload something. And it's like, okay, a few minutes. I mean, this is unbelievable for me because I have been using this extremely slow internet since, like 2017. At this point, I have to say I am thoroughly impressed with T-Mobile's internet. The speeds are great. It's consistent. I haven't had any issues, and I am always on the internet because, like I said, I work from home. I watch YouTube all day. I am always on the internet. So if something goes wrong, I am aware. At this point, I would say if you have it in your area, I mean, it's $50 a month, which is nothing. Like I said, we were paying that for the crappy internet that we had. They did eventually reduce it to $35 because it was so bad. But this is great. $50 a month. There's no reoccurring monthly fee for the gateway. We actually put it in our basement because that's where we had our previous internet equipment. Because we were thinking, well, maybe we need some of that. No, you need nothing. None of it. You plug in the gateway. They say sit it by a window and you're set. Now it does matter the quality of internet. If you go to the little map, the T-Mobile map, they'll tell you whether or not, you can it's fully available in your area, or if you have forget what they call it, but you might have some availability. It might not be as good in some areas. And then there are obviously areas where there's no availability yet. But this is fantastic. And I look at all the complaints because obviously I was looking whenever my Centurylink was not working, I would look into it and see if other people were having the same issues, and they were. But it wasn't just in my area, it was across the country. Complaints about my internet is so slow, I can't work, like it's down again, things like that. Just constant complaining about it in different places. And that just led me to believe that CenturyLink is just it's a situation where they're calling themselves Lumen Technology, but they are a product like they used to be one of the big bail companies in the West. So they're really aligned with a lot of like government entities and things like that in this part of the country. So they really don't care about these residential customers who are complaining because they used to have telephone lines all over, so they just switched those to DSL, like they use that for the DSL, the telephone lines. And so even though people don't have landlines, they still were able to, make tons of money from it. And in some areas, CenturyLink is the only option. So they don't care. But this, if you can just get you a T-Mobile gateway, plug it in, like not even in a great spot, like our gateway it's in the basement, like I said, and it's in the middle of the basement. It's not really that close to a window, and it's great. So if we were to actually follow the instructions and put it by a window, I mean, who knows? Who knows how fast it could get? Um, I just think that this is such a cool option for anyone who is in an area that's not near a major city, who is struggling to get decent internet. Look on the map. If you're struggling with your current internet provider, give it a try. We are going to keep the CenturyLink for a month just in case, because we know if we turn off the CenturyLink, we can't get it back because of the circuit is in a state of permanent exhaust, they say. So if you give up your service, then you can't get it back, and CenturyLink is the only provider in the area if you're going with DSL. So, and there's no fiber. Um, so obviously that's a little bit like, oh, like a little nerve wracking, because I am enjoying the T-Mobile, but I want to make sure that I have consistent internet because I work from home and I do all types of things from home with the internet, and I need it here. And if we turn off the CenturyLink and something were to happen with the T-Mobile 5G, we wouldn't be able to get the CenturyLink back. But I think that at this point, if T-Mobile has it, I know Verizon has some 5G home internet. I think that this is going to become something that the cell phone companies are really going to capitalize on, because Comcast and CenturyLink being those main two big providers that I'm aware of, they don't provide great service. There's like the market is wide open for a good service provider that can give consistent internet. Like, I don't even need it to be lightning fast. I just need it to be able to keep up with uploading material, downloads, things like that. But I need it to be consistent, and that's not something that I could get with CenturyLink. So I would say do it. It's fantastic. If you are struggling with Comcast or CenturyLink or some other big DSL conglomerate, check out 5G home internet from T-Mobile. I think you'll be pleased.